It's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. So subscribe and hit the bell icon right now. Have you ever wanted to know what it feels like or what it is like for an asexual to experience love? So, you might know that asexuality is based on lack of sexual attraction. Most people put sexual attraction together with love. So, if we don't experience any sexual attraction or have a lack thereof, how do we feel about love? Like, what does love mean to us? Well, I'm going to be answering this question in this episode. I'm going to be reading from Asexual Perspectives for Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month, celebrating our diversity across the asexual spectrum and our differences within it. So let's take a look and dive right in. You can get this book on Amazon, by the way, Barnes & Noble, Waterstones, Blackwell's, even Walmart and all good bookshops. So let's go to Robin's story first. What's your view on love? Have you been in love before? I think love takes on a variety of forms. However, what usually crops up amongst asexuals in terms of love would be platonic and romantic love. I can feel the clear distinction between both feelings, but the difference is hard to explain. Most of the time, you just have to expect people listening to get you. I say that because some people can't feel the difference between romantic or platonic love, or can't feel romantic love at all. It's important to respect this fact and to normalize romantic love as something to not normalize romantic love as something everyone feels. Because just like not everyone feels sexual attraction, not everyone feels romantic love. I would say that I am able to feel romantic attraction, so I am not aromantic per se. However, I am on the aromantic spectrum, and here's why. I am grey romantic. I rarely feel romantic attraction. I am a demi-romantic, so I like people who have gotten to know well. I don't feel love at first sight, and I can't understand that grey romantic and demi-romantic are both in the aromantic spectrum. I don't really have a preference or criteria for what kinds of people I love. I don't care about their gender. Ultimately, I think it's important to be loved as well as loving someone. As long as you're special to your partner and vice versa, that's enough. And that's even if you and your partner may not feel the same kind of love, e.g., they feel more of a platonic love for you and you feel romantic love for them. But it depends on how both people feel about the love they receive. In that sense, aromantic romantic relationships work in a similar way to asexual sexual relationships. And I'll talk about that later. So yes, when they talk about it later, I'm going to divert here to what they said about romantic and sexual relationship, because they've given you a taster now, so I think I should divert a little bit into their answer for this. Do you believe if a sexual person had a relationship with an asexual, it can work? I think it really depends on the people involved. I know a few asexual relationships in which the sexual person, out of respect for the asexual partner, does not have sex with their asexual partner. However, I don't think the majority of sexual people are like that. Even those who respect their asexual partner even those who respect the asexual partner's wish to not have sex would still want to have sex, and so form a compromise with their asexual partner about it. For example, agreeing on the amount of sex to have within a certain time period, so that the amount of sex does not overwhelm their asexual partner. In other words, an asexual who wishes to have a relationship with a sexual partner should expect to have sex in the majority of cases. This is their opinion. It's not mine. As much as it depends on what the sexual partner wants, it also depends on what the asexual person is willing and able to tolerate in terms of sex. I also know that some asexual people do enjoy sex, so in that case, having sex with their asexual partner Oh, sorry, having sex with their sexual partner at their request may not be a problem at all. So they're likening the romance, not being romantic, but still having a romantic relationship to that type of thing. Interesting, is it not? So Thomas's story. What's your view on love? Have you been in love before? If there is one thing I've always believed in, it is the power of love. Yes, I have been in love before and have even been married. I just happen to find more happiness with a good friend than I would a sexual partner. I think a lot of asexuals can relate to that, actually. Andy P's story. What's your view on love? I think love is really important. People feel very strongly about it. I haven't ever been in love, though. I have a strong attachment to people. I can miss them and all that. But outside of occasionally wanting to be in a relationship, I haven't ever really felt anything like that for someone. As far as familiar and a platonic love, I felt that. Not warm and fuzzy like others describe, just a bone deep determination to maintain their happiness, if it's at all within my power. A kind of loyalty that once earned is difficult to lose, a feeling of contentment of being around them. I really love that. Anne's story. For myself, I spent a great deal of time wondering if I was bisexual, although I hadn't felt any physical drive to have sex with anyone, male or female. In my last relationship, I believed that I had a future. I'll start again, that bit again. I believed that I had a future with that man. So while there was an element of curiosity at first, but with performing sexual acts, I eventually got tired, then bored, and eventually began to dread going over his house for overnight stays altogether. I understand that. When I eventually came to date the man I am with now, it was so completely different than with anyone I had been with before. I could talk with him for hours about anything, and in a blink of an eye, our time together would be up. I never understood why my ex-boyfriend had told me how much he missed me, because it had only been a few days since we last saw each other. With my current boyfriend, I understand that now. I think it's because we unconditionally accept one another. It was perplexing to me when I actually began to sexually desire him as well. As for me, I can't really picture being outside of a long-term committed monogamous relationship, especially now that I know just having sex does nothing for me. If other people choose other things for themselves and can handle it and are happy with that, I don't have any issue with their choices. It's just something I wouldn't want for myself. And I have to agree that if you're going to have sex, I think it's so much better to do it with a person you love and are in a serious committed relationship, because there's a lot more security in that, and therefore you can let yourself go a lot more and be free to do what you want. So, Waywalker's story. What's your view on love? Have you been in love before? I have studied this since I was a child. I have been guided from a young age by the concepts used by the ancient Greeks. There are 6 kinds of love: eros, sexual, physical love, the kind of love you lose control of yourself when in; philia, deep friendship, exemplified by the camaraderie forged between members of a military force when in combat; storge, which is similar to this but in the context of parent and child; ludus, playful love as between children or young lovers. I think I have that because I like a teenager style relationship with a guy in his 20s. Agape, love for all beings, all of humanity. Pragma, the deep bond between a long established pair or love bonded group. And philutia, I don't know if I've pronounced that right. Self love or self compassion. We call it self esteem and often misunderstand its nature. I tend to experience philia as my primary love bond, and usually platonic ludus types, or ludus, I think it is, type love. Oh, right, okay. So I tend to experience philia as my primary love bond, and usually a platonic ludus type love starts it out, as most of the world of human beings wants eros and shuns the others. I'm not overly hopeful for a life partner to stroll into my world anytime soon. It would be nice if one did. I would love to experience pragma. It's very interesting that person studied all those. Very interesting. I always find these things fascinating. Like other people's opinions on love and things like that in terms of asexual experiences. Samantha G's story. What's your view on love? Love is spending time with people you enjoy being around any day of the week just to be around them. I have been in love before with people outside my family, and I would take each relationship back. Each time I was in love, my heart got broken. So sad. There's a lot of asexuals' hearts that get broken, unfortunately, because people can't love without sex, a lot of them, but we can. So it's really tough. Juanita's story. What's your view on love? I am very much romantic. I like the idea of people meeting and going for walks to get to know each other and holding hands to create intimacy. I have said before that I feel I was born in the wrong era. I feel overwhelmed being in this era where people see someone they like in a bar, get drunk and fuck. I identify with the demisexual label. Yes, I have definitely been in love before. I have had a few long-term relationships, and the space in between, I always developed feelings for someone in an unrequited way. I think for a long time, because I never really wanted to do the sex thing, I have had feelings for someone and wouldn't tell them, or have a pash and then flatline in the bedroom. And it would always really freak me out because I was so in love with them, but could never get to the sex part, or not like the rest of the planet. So yeah, asexuals do experience love differently. We experience like sex differently. And I really I'm not demisexual myself, but I do relate to parts of what this person's saying. It just seems so strange that the majority of the world is like, yeah, let's just go and hook up and have sex. The majority of guys on dating sites like that, even the serious relationship ones, they just need the sex, as well, incorporated in it. So yeah, Juanita says, I'm very much a slow burn type of girl, which is why I think I identify with the demisexual label. So yeah, very interesting, huh? But yeah, it's hard when you're different, and it's hard to admit feelings sometimes to yourself and to other people. But I think it's better to just be upfront and honest and open. And if someone doesn't love you for who you are, then they're not the right person for you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. And if you want to know my perspective, I totally believe in true love, even though I've not met my soulmate that I've been looking for since 2014 yet, who I believe I knew in a past life. And I'm an asexual who's very rare in the fact I'm a hyper romantic, hyper kisser, high arousal level, sometimes zero sexual attraction, and I don't experience platonic attraction either. So yeah, high romantic and asexual attraction. And when I meet a guy, I can get attached easily because I don't experience any platonic attraction whatsoever. The platonic phase is not there. It goes straight to feelings usually. So it's really tough. But I want you to know that your strength is in your pain. And if you're going through tough times right now, you're going to be one of the strongest people I've ever met. I love you. I want the best for you. And I hope you'll continue on your beautiful ace journey, because you're amazing. Lots of love. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode, and share this if someone wants to hear it. Lots of love. Bye.